This channel survives exclusively on your likes and comments, so please do that before starting the video. For my family. Welcome back to some more Warno action, and today we are going to be playing as the Nato Panzer Grenadier group of the German army. I can't wait to try these guys out. Of course, I think the Panzer Grenadiers are a tremendous force in any World War II game I play, so seeing them here in a modern war is pretty fascinating. Now, I already threw down some recon as well as some AA and an MLRS system. That's a multi-launch rocket system for those of you that are unaware. And what I'm going to do now, guys, is actually try to go pretty crazy with actual just infantry. And the reason being, in this little fight, you can see where we're going to be fighting. We're going to be fighting over this entire chemical plant and essentially trying to take it from the enemy, control it as best we can. And I think to do that, we're going to for sure need some hardened troops, definitely some standard Panzer Grenadiers, as well as maybe some tanks later on. In fact, I'm thinking of bringing on just some tanks for support. So let's grab some Leopards here, and we're going to add them to our battle group. But the goal here really is to try and get into that central area as quickly as possible. I'm going to order everybody to move fast right there to that crossroads, and I'm going to want them to disperse amongst this area. I might even try to go a little bit further. And the reason being, if we could hold the river across from the enemy there, well, I mean, just imagine the control we'd have. Alright, folks, well, let's get started. Let's see how it goes. It's on, guys. I can already hear contact being established, and I actually hear choppers, so that's got me a little concerned. I'm going to keep this recce here just in case things don't go as planned, and I think I'm already going to start unloading these guys at different positions. We'll try to get as close to their side as we can, but the goal is definitely to try and fill this area up with defenders and hold on to it for the rest of the match. Let's see if that actually works out for us. Like I said, I'm already starting to see some enemy choppers. We do have some AA, but nothing crazy, nothing that significant. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to bring in some of these Fliegerfaust units. It's just a standard infantry unit, but they do pretty good anti-air action. I'm also thinking just for this initial push, let's go ahead and support it with some helicopters. Start pushing forward there with the choppers, of course. And we can already see, look at that, guys. The enemy is already moving over here. I'm going to have to spread some of my infantry out to support our allies, because the enemy is definitely going for the grab in this area. I'm also thinking maybe we can use that MLRS launch system against the enemy right here, right now. Man, look at that. It begins. Definitely getting a lot of these infantry out immediately. I don't even want to risk it. And I think the closest we can get is going to be that complex right there. So I will make a push for it. I don't necessarily think that's a wise choice. But then again, if we could hold this complex, it would be a very important area, a very important way of establishing control of this area, of course. So we're still sending out those Panzer Grenadiers. Another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in some just standard tanks. Let's grab some of those Leopards and put them right there to fight off any enemy attacks. I just hope we brought on enough infantry. It's not looking like we necessarily have enough infantry here to hold the area. But I'm already going to start spreading them out. We'll see soon enough if they are sufficient or not. We've got them spread across 2 buildings here. I think that's pretty decent. Let's get that MLRS system. And I'm going to try it. I want to actually fire it back here. I want to get a better position where the enemy is, actually. Get right there and start targeting them. And the chances of us doing damage there are limited. However, over here we have a chance of actually damaging some infantry. And look at that. The Panzer Grenadiers made it in. We're going to bring in some more of these guys. We've got to trust our Panzer Grenadiers to accomplish some pretty significant tasks. And one of them, of course, is taking over the area completely here. So I'm going to send some to this building complex over here. But so far, we are doing our best. I think a pretty decent job at holding the enemy back. Got some tanks on the way, and the MLRS system is firing. Ooh. Alright, tanks are arriving, guys. Hopefully this is the moment of truth. We are also going to try to, of course, bring on some Ireki, but easier said than done. There's an entirely different fight going on over there. I don't even want to go and pay attention to it, or else I'm going to completely lose track of this fight. Again, we're going to get that Ireki in. So far, the infantry is doing a great job at holding on. But how long can this go on for? That enemy Ireki coming in over here. I'd actually like to get into that building right there. Let's do it. Also start to move up the rest of our infantry. We might as well. We're doing pretty well as is. And as you can see, we've also got some infantry here, so really I'm trying to dominate this area. Currently, our side is winning, but our tanks are getting wasted there, so I'm going to fall back with those tanks. Fall back to where the Ireki is, as a matter of fact. Look at that. Crazy anti-tank guided missile hits there. And I think we need to keep pushing. We need to put the pressure on the enemy, so let's start pushing out to these buildings. I mean, after all, the Panzer Grenadiers are an infantry force. This is what they're here for. And I'm also going to bring in some additional Panzer Grenadiers over to this complex to help fight the enemy off, and maybe some replacements for the tanks we lost. Why not? The Leopards over here. I think that's probably the safest place for them. And let's bring in another Ireki unit. I think most of these war games, war game style games, you can never have too much Ireki. Bring in a little bit of supply there for that unit. We're also going to bring in some supply over here for our frontline units. They're sure to need it pretty soon here. And completely forgot about these infantry units. That's right, we can also use them. Right now I'm going to keep them here because we're actually engaging a recon unit there. Look at that. I think our guys can probably wipe it out.
Beware, nearby.
Oh, destroyed something back there, that's for sure. And again, I'm going to bring on some additional armor. I'd like to actually move the armor over here in between this gap. We've taken a lot of shots from that area, and I think we could be useful over here. Ooh, in fact, good reason to move out. Let's push, guys. We're going to push over here to try and stop that bridge push by the enemy. I'm definitely going to be bringing quite a few infantry units with us. Ooh, jet just went down like a few meters away. Look at that tank. We've got tanks all over the place here. We just need to spot them. Come on, folks. This is our first real push, and we're not exactly prepared for it. Good shot, boys. One enemy tank down. And let's just kind of set up over here and provide whatever supporting fire we can. I'm even going to bring in the MRAPs here of these different infantry units. I think they could be quite useful. Let's bring in these tanks as well. But so far, it looks like our guys are in a decent position. I like that. Actually wiping out enemies on the bridge there. That is wonderful. Again, let's bring in a whole bunch of infantry with the Milan 2s. We're going to bring them over here. That's a perfect anti-tank vehicle, and I'm also going to bring in just a bunch of nice Leopards. These are working out great for us, so let's not stop what's working. Allies are bringing in air support to take out their artillery. Absolutely perfect. And that's right, we still have an MLRS system here that could help out our allies. Let's fire over here in this area and try to wipe out those rockets. In fact, I'll take some of these MLRS systems and start setting them up over here, because it looks like the enemy's going to try to make a push with pioneers, maybe even in this part of the plant behind us. So let's be prepared for that. They are definitely evacuating, it seems. And we're trying to hit that artillery right there, so I think it's a pretty good shot. I'll keep it going. But over here at the front lines, yeah, we've got some enemy infantry trying to get across the bridge there, same with some tanks. So far, these guys are holding on pretty well. Should we make the full push here? I don't know. It feels kind of unsafe. Just make an armored push over here. How about that? Let our guys get re-established over here once again, and then we will attempt to push again. But as long as we're keeping them across the bridge, I'm pretty happy about that. We are controlling the plan. Good shooting, good shooting. So far, so good. They are managing to hold just barely. But I definitely am concerned about this area over time. Bringing all these leopards, bringing some recce. We'll even bring in some helicopter support just to hold this intersection, let's call it. Not much of an intersection, but kind of sort of. One road going here, one road going here. That artillery, though, is cooking off some of our vehicles. Absolutely devastating there. Wiped out some of our recce units as well. Just not something easy to deal with. Now that we have these units, though, we're going to try to unload them right there on the front line across from the actual bridge. And hopefully we can get some pretty good shots here, despite losing quite a few units there. Defensive losses, though. That was rough. And we are still winning, so as far as I'm concerned, we're still doing just fine. Let's take a look across our front. It looks okay, however, yeah, this upper western portion is falling into the hands of the enemy. We got to bring in some more troops. Let's get some of our wonderful infantry in here quickly. Some standard Panzer Grenadiers as well.
Right up. Get in formation.
Oh, wait a minute. We already used those up. Oh, never mind. I see. I'd like to actually bring some units right there, but it's quite a distance from the area that we've got the defenses set up, and that's got me worried, because I think just gritting across is going to get us killed, but that building's on fire. We don't have much of a choice. And you can see that unit was completely obliterated, probably by a missile there. Just came in and eviscerated them. Now there we go. We've got our Milan already firing at targets. I'm of course going to bring some more into this exact area. And actually, I will unload them at that position right there. So bring in some of these Fliegerfausts. That is a definite helicopter hit going in between all of those factories, or storage facilities, I should say. Damn, that is a nice shot. Yeah, so they're definitely trying to make a push from over here and across the bridge. Now, if we can just hold that for a little while longer, I think we've pretty much got this one. Relatively speaking, we own the entire chemical plant with the exception of that area right there. And you know what? I was going to bring these guys over here, but actually I'm going to unload a position here, even a little bit closer to the enemy. Because I'm seeing, of course, some shots here, and I'd like to find... Oh, boy! Oh, man, keep driving, keep driving, keep driving, keep driving, keep driving. Oh, that was bad. There was not much we could do in that situation, to be perfectly honest. Our guys were already going past them, and they are in that building. So they're making a push over to try to get in this area. I don't think they can get there in time, but you never know. Bringing some more Panzer Grenadiers.
Achtung, Feindmeldung. Auf Empfang.
Yep, they're making a push. Look at that. That is Very, very, very smart from the enemy there, making a push across right now with the Panzerjägers. This could definitely change things. In fact, they have, or they could try to jam the game up here. I'm going to bring in some additional tanks, like right now. Let's just keep them across and keep an eye on the enemy. We've got some infantry arriving right now. We're absolutely going to want to set them up kind of separately here because we know the enemy's right there. So I'll unload at that position. Our Panzer Grenadiers can still fight their way out of this position, I believe.
Feuer und Bewegung. Wir können beides. Fahrer, dort müssen wir hin.
I think you guys can see what I'm going for. Kind of, sort of.
Bravo 1, hier, Bravo.
Still holding this area. At least that's looking pretty nice. And in fact, we've got this system that we can set up. Now that we know we've got enemies over here, we'll set it up here. And there we go. Boys are making it into position, I believe. Hopefully. Nice. So again, the goal here is to just make sure they don't cut us off at the bridge, of course. That would be devastating.
Achtung, Feindmeldung.
The next group of grenadiers that we're bringing in here, in fact, we're going to bring in pioneers. We are going to actually make a push for the factory itself. Or that warehouse building, whatever you want to call it. I just want to make sure that they can't have a defensive position here, because they can hit any building moving through. In fact, we're going to start pushing through with these Panzer Grenadiers. Come on. 70%, folks. We've almost destroyed the Soviet threat here.
Verstanden, sind unterwegs, Ende. Feind gesichtet.
Oh boy, gotta get into that building quickly.
Sperrbestand aufgebraucht, brauchen mehr Munition.
Bring in a tornado and try to take that tank out. Either that or our boys take it out. Alright, we got some guys in there. That's definitely important. Returning fire and... let's see if we take out the T-72. Getting some good hits on it. It might be destroyed. I'm not seeing the damn thing. Oh yeah, that is a destroyed tank. Good work, Panzer Grenadiers. And now, of course, that victory point's moving up to 6. We've retaken control of the area. A bunch of infantry moving in. We're not going to make that mistake again. Let us just set them up in this entire complex in a defensive position.
Fahrer, dort müssen wir hin. Wir haben Feindkontakt.
Take our existing tanks and try to bring them over here. Try and assist a bit. I know putting pressure on the enemy is a very important part of the game. Tornado's not really sure what to do because that tank disappeared, so we're going to send him after that T-72. Again, they disperse just as soon as they appear. They got our damn jet. Let's hope our pilot was able to eject. In the woods there. At least he's going to be on friendly territory, assuming he managed to eject before the end of the crash, but I believe that victory is ours. We have held the chemical plant, and that's going to be a GG. Just a little fun with the skirmish system of the game. I always enjoy doing this, so if you guys enjoy these videos and you want to see more like them, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking for a comment, well, since I've been shimmying through this kill list, what's your favorite, or who do you think was the best driver in this game? Give us his name. Thanks, folks. Take care. Catch you on the next one.